Hey, good morning, Drive Time. Welcome back. As always, I'm Dave Drum, and with me today is Eric Stratman. Eric probably looks familiar to you because he's been on Drive Time a couple times already, and he's a fixture around Cape Christian and CapeMEN in general. So, Eric, welcome back to Drive Time.
Thanks for having me, Dave. I really appreciate it. It's always a pleasure hanging with you and the guys, but especially having the honor of being here on Drive Time with you and this amazing audience that you have.
So you and I have been talking about it, and it's crazy to think this already, but we are literally on the doorstep in November. And I don't know where 2021 has gone, but the year is flying by. And as we get into November, we have the realities of food, massive amounts of food. We have Thanksgiving, we have holiday parties, office parties, Christmas parties. Everybody's selling something. Everything looks delicious. None of them are diet friendly. None of them really contribute to an overall sense of health, but they're all delicious. And a lot of those things are only around once a year. So we talked about having you come back on here to talk specifically about fitness, wellness, health in the holidays.
I mean, isn't it the most talked about subject during the holidays, right? Absolutely not. It's right. Not, we know it's that blackball taboo, like don't talk to me till January 1st or maybe the 5th because there's national championship games or I'm off that week or whatever it is. And that's the time to go in. And, unfortunately, it's been that rhythm for the 30 plus years I've been in this industry that, the November, December time hits. It's like just after Halloween. Okay, I got enough candy to get me through till Thanksgiving. And then I've got enough leftovers to get me through to all the Christmas parties. And then I've got enough to go. And it's like the challenge of how much weight can I gain before January 1st, because I'm going to feel good about eating this now and having a very unhealthy routine because I know I'm going to do better January 1st. And we know that January 1st goes to about January 14th or maybe 20th. And then it's over till, whatever else hits, and trying to create something sustainable, but something that allows the football parties, the Halloween, candy, the Thanksgiving and the Christmas parties to all be a part of your lifestyle, because that's just life. It's going to happen. There's going to be birthday parties. There's going to be events. There's going to be Easter, a few months and just all these things that lead up that people feel like, well, I can't go enjoy this because it's not going to be something that I'm doing perfect. And as we know, as Christians, if you're not perfect, you're out. You're out of here. You can't not do it. It's that same motto, of Cape Christian, no perfect people allowed. And that's the same thing with our health journey. If you go into it thinking that I'm going to be average, you're going to be super successful. As soon as you go, I've got to do this perfect and have the perfect workout regimen, the perfect diet, the perfect, sleep schedule, you're shooting yourself in the foot because it's definitely going to fail.
Right. So, because that's kind of our tendency. It's like, oh, I'm going to focus on my health. I'm going to exercise, 3 to 5 times a week. I'm going to, track my calories every day, and I'm going to stay underneath my calorie goal every day. And, but I'll start next week because, Friday I've got this office party and we're going to go out and we're going to, eat barbecue and have a couple of drinks. And, so I won't even bother tracking this weekend. And it's almost like if we can't foresee in the next couple of weeks where we're not going to have any distractions and not going to have any temptations to go over our calorie goals, it's a wash. Just never mind. I'll pick it back up, like you said, January 1. So what do we do through the holidays? How do we manage all of that? Because let's face it, while sometimes it might seem like, oh my gosh, we have something going every single day, most of the time, you're not going to eat crazy every single day. Most of the time, you maybe you got a Christmas party Friday and Saturday, but that would still leave 5 other days and 2 other meals on those 2 days where you don't have to eat crazy.
You're hitting the nail on the head. And man, it sounds like you've hung out with me a little bit and have heard some of this stuff. But yeah, I mean, that's exactly it. Like, even if you're going to have a Friday, Saturday party, or if it's the football weekend or it's Super Bowl or whatever it is, it's planning around those things. You know, I mean, that I talk about the 5 Ps a lot. Proper planning prevents poor performance. And if we look at, well, I know I'm going to go consume 2,500 calories at this party tonight. Well, you know, that's one of the pieces of the Fat Dad program is a fasting protocol, and you learn how to leverage your meals, because if I know I'm going to go indulge at this football party or Christmas party, I'm probably going to fast up until that party. And then before the party, I'm going to consume a ton of water, and then I'm still going to enjoy all the food. I'm able to taste it. I probably consumed a little less because I went in with a full belly with water. But if I didn't and I consumed twice as much, that's okay. The next day, you just get right back on track, because you can't gain 10 pounds or 5 pounds of one meal, even though the scale says it on the next day, you're just retaining water. But it's just saying every day is a new day, a new opportunity. But if we look at those challenges that are going to be between, you know, November to the end of the year, and say, okay, well, if I have 1 or 2 events a week, let's plan around those, and let me plan my calories. Maybe you don't have to fast. You're just going to have it. You're going to enjoy it. And, you know, take that step back. Like, what am I gaining by going bananas, or what am I not gaining? Like, if going bananas is okay for you because all the other meals and those days are fine, that's totally okay. And it's fine to have those indulging. And if you need somebody to indulge with, I'm that guy. I'd love to overeat at a party. That is awesome. But it's really all the other meals that you're having throughout the week and what your activity schedule is that's going to allow you to be successful, even having 1 or 2 times a week that you feel like you go off the rails or you cheat. I don't even like using, you know, the word cheat, because it's just a lifestyle, right? You can have those overabundance of calories from time to time, because if 80 or 90% of the time you're eating within your calories, you're doing well, right? Go into it with the average mindset, and you'll have exponential results because of that. You go in with the perfect mindset, you're just going to let yourself down and crash and burn.
So what I hear you saying is essentially, I mean, you said you don't like to call it a cheat meal because, you know, that gives a connotation that you're not supposed to be doing it. You're saying build that into your fitness and your health plan, where, you know, whether it's once a week or a 1 meal a week or 1 day a week, where you just eat differently than you eat the rest of the week. And that's just an accepted part of your plan, versus calling it a cheat meal. Like, oh yeah, I'm just going to cheat today and have some donuts and whatever. But, you know, almost to create that. And I've seen just tier 1 athletes sit down at a table full of food and go to town. And I can remember years ago asking a guy, he was a bodybuilder, and he ate a pizza and a rack of ribs at lunch. And then that night at dinner, he just had a ton of barbecue. And I looked at him and I said, well, man, what are you doing? Like, you eat so perfectly the rest of the week, and then you get here on Sunday and you eat this garbage. And he goes, no, that's like, I eat like this to make the rest of the week worthwhile. You know, like that's not fun for me, but it accomplishes a goal. And then I eat what I enjoy, and I only have to wait a week to have another pizza. So,
yeah, I mean, that's exactly what, you know, the mindset is, because, you know, that's exactly what we want to do, is take away that negative connotation of it's cheating or I have to indulge to enjoy myself. It's just part of your plan. And I want to, you know, emphasize that piece, that call that your overachiever day, because you have a number of calories you're going to eat per day on average if you calculate that and you're tracking it. But if you want to overachieve on a regular basis or on a less regular basis, either way, that's going to determine, are you gaining weight, losing weight? Are you improving your health? Are you taking a step backwards? Because I will tell you, I love to overachieve, and I don't know anybody that doesn't like to overachieve. but nobody likes to cheat, because it's, that's what it is, or they do. And they just say, that's my path. I'm either cheating or I'm eating perfect. I'm not doing anything. So let's shift that mindset to I'm eating to be the healthiest version of myself and exercising to get the most out of life. And I like to overachieve every now and then. That might be also on your exercise. Hey, instead of walking a mile, I ran 2 miles. Great. You overachieved. You can overachieve on your calories, and again, I am happy to volunteer when anybody feels like they need to overachieve, because, we're going to be doing that here a few times over the next couple months.
So, all right. So if that's the reality of sustainable health, is to build in margin, like we build in margin financially, we build in margin in our schedules. You're saying build in that margin on our nutrition to where it's okay that we're going to eat that way, once or twice a week, or 1 meal or 2 meals a week. What are some other things that we can do during the holidays? Because that's, again, we're on the doorstep in November. What do we do from here? Great question.
And it goes down to like the basis of what we look at for, what Fat Dad's program brings in is that, what does your environment look like? Are you going to that Christmas party and then Aunt Helen gave you, 5 pounds of leftovers and that's your lunch for the next 3 days and you're overindulging because it's something that's just keeping you on that path? Also, like if kids are getting candy, around Halloween time, are you keeping 5 pounds of it for you to pick at all day long, or every time you walk by the little dish on the table? It's getting that stuff out of there. Like if you indulge on things and you have them around you, like as we refer, like if somebody has a problem with alcohol, you don't pace in front of the bar just to show that I cannot, I'm not going to have a drink. You stay away from the bar. It's you don't bring alcohol in your house. Same thing with, your health. If you know that you overindulge on certain items and you enjoy them, even if it's something your kids like to snack on, they probably don't need it either. So, I don't know anybody that's overindulging on fruit and vegetables. I don't know anybody that's overindulging on, a healthier snack or, a Greek yogurt bar instead of, a full pint of ice cream or a quart. But it's really that getting that environment there. And then also activity. It is, we talk about a lot that it's 20 to 30% of weight loss is exercise. But in my experience and anybody I've worked with, when exercise is regular, and this could literally be a 15-minute walk a day. This isn't like, hey, we're going to the Drum's Den in his garage and we're going to hammer the tire and do pull-ups and sled work and all these other things. It's really just staying active, because the stimulus that you get mentally and the chemicals that are released, that that serotonin, that dopamine that you get from that exercise and how good you feel. And I know you and I have talked about this at length. When you have an injury, you have things going on and you can't exercise for a little while, or you don't because you're not where you usually are. And then you're back to it. You realize like, man, why did I stop? Because I feel so good. And then you're motivated to eat better, drink more water, get your sleep, and then you don't tend to want to overindulge as much. But, so even though exercise is a small percentage of actual physical weight loss, it's a huge percentage of mental accountability, but also diving into what we can do to make ourselves feel better and really get the most out of each and every day, which we know when we're physically active and we're healthy, all of the benefits we're going to be able to experience ourselves and how we can steward the temple God gave us, but how we can serve our community, right? That's what we want to do, is serve. How are we serving our families, ourselves, our community, our employees or employers as an unhealthy version of ourselves? So really it comes down to letting that be full circle to seeing that, are you setting up a good environment? Are you staying active? We can get in deeper with drinking water and sleeping and all that, but just the environment and activity is going to be a huge benefit to stay really successful through the holidays, and definitely plug in those overachievement times.
Okay. Now you had mentioned this before we started the video, that you've got something coming through Fat Dad that will help us on that decision about our environment and our lifestyle, not just through the holidays, but beyond. So tell me a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So, I've been coaching people for years and years and working, and obviously my passion is to work specifically with dads, but it doesn't matter dad or not, especially men. And, we're teaming up, our ministry is going to team up with CapeMEN to be a supporting ministry of CapeMEN. But this program really breaks down and gives bite-sized chunks of how to implement a lifestyle that you can sustain, how to, prep, have that proper planning prevents poor performance, how to put that in, what water really means, how to set yourself up for success on a regular basis, how to really feel like that, even if you have that meal that you overachieved in, that it doesn't, change what's going on. It's not black or white. And that's something I really, really like to emphasize with our program, is that we don't do black or white or good or bad. It's all shades of gray, because when you play black or white, it's perfect or it's not. And we want to say consistently average always trumps seldom perfection. So if we can look at having something that is bite-sized chunks that's going to, drip information to anybody on the program every week, and then we are going to meet as a group on Zoom a couple times a month and have material that we go through, but then also have live Q&A through it. This really allows guys to dive in together in this program, because, a big part of being successful, and we know this through men, through reading our scripture, through being a Christian, is that A in FAT is accountability, right? So if we can be accountable to more than just the guy in the mirror, because we know that's 100% success rate, right? We're like, I just won't look in the mirror today and I was successful. But, we're able to pull each other together and keep each other accountable, but then find a path that's going to work, because I don't know anybody that's saying, I really don't care about my health and I don't want to change it. So let's do something that's actually going to change it, but do it in a manner that is going to be sustainable and just getting 1% better a day, and helping you really have that opportunity to dive in with other guys, not just by yourself. Me, helping, give the information that's necessary that I've seen, over the last 3 decades that really actually works, not, these fly by night things that don't, and help CapeMEN at the same time.
Right. So we've got the men's conference coming up.
Oh yeah,
and you've jumped in as a sponsor of the conference. Yeah. So now, do you want to give a sneak peek as to what you're offering the guys at the conference?
We could touch on that a little bit. I appreciate you bringing that up. It's where, what we want to do is, instead of saying, hey, here's these courses you can go through on your own, here's this, obviously I offer one-on-one programming, but this is something that we're going to give a membership option to the guys at CapeMEN and release it for a short time during the conference and that week, to allow them to jump in to changing their life and at a perfect time to build momentum going into January 1st, not going the opposite way. But then it's going to be a reduced rate for the guys of CapeMEN, the guys at the conference, and really tying it in to help them really finally make that decision to get healthier, but not do it on their own. Because, as men, do we ever like to stop and ask for directions? I know where I'm going. Don't worry about it. Obviously we have GPS, we can just plug that in, but it's that same mindset. Like, it's okay to be a little bit vulnerable and say, I need help with this. I know if I have an issue with my car, I'm bringing it to a mechanic, so if we have a problem with our health, let me and our program be that mechanic for you, because, all of the, books and stuff on the internet and everything else that we can read and consume, if it's not put together in a manner that you can digest and you can implement into your lifestyle, then it's a fail. So let's just look at bite-sized chunks, something that's going to be super easy, and it's ongoing, because we know health is a journey, not a destination. I mean, we're not going to go, hey, I got healthy. All right, I'm done. It's not going to happen. So let's create something that you can stay comfortable with and get your results and maintain them the rest of your life, but then walk alongside other guys, because we're going to be able to see all of the pitfalls we have together, the speed bumps, the victories, and all do that together.
That's cool. All right. So as we're wrapping up here, typical drive time fashion, we're looking for that one takeaway, that tangible step that we can start this week. Again, as we step into November, what's the thing that we can do this week to at least change our trajectory a little bit and get us on this pathway that you were talking about?
Man, is that a loaded question or what? But, getting that pathway, I would just, I would say to really pay attention to twofold. What's your environment? Are you, in an environment that is encouraging the results you're looking for and the level of health you want to be in? And then another piece, which we dive super deep into this in the program, but who is it that you want to be? Because who is it that you are in the mirror? Who is it that you are to your family? Who is it that you are to God? And when you define who you want to be, what actions is that individual going to take each day leading into November, January, whatever? Because through your health, through your service, through your family, through your witnessing, when you find that who, it makes all the difference.
That's good. That's good. Well, Eric, thank you again for being with us. Gentlemen, you're going to get a chance to interact with Eric at the conference. He's going to be around as one of our sponsors, also as a member of CapeMEN. So a little plug for the conference. Make sure you register. It's not too late. And we will see all of you again next week here on Drive Time.